Notre Dame and Georgia's getting together on New Year's Day, 8:45 p.m. on ESPN in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Right now, Notre Dame is a 1-point favorite, which is Vegas talk for the game could go either way. I want to dive into my prediction in just a moment. First, welcome to the channel. If you like talking college football, you like talking Clemson football, and you like supporting independent media, well, I hope you'll subscribe. It is free. I do appreciate it. I know Georgia pretty well. Why? Well, my team got blown out by them. Okay, it was 6-0 at halftime. And see, I went into defending there, and Georgia opened up a can in the second half. Georgia went on to have a season that had some really, really incredible moments in it. And then Mississippi happened. Yeah, Ole Miss blew them out on November the 9th. Alabama beat them. The same Alabama team. By the way, that was a hiccup. I wasn't trying to do some type of weird something with my voice, but the same Alabama team that lost to Michigan today, yeah, they beat Georgia, and it didn't make sense to a point. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. But the Georgia Bulldogs yet again finds themselves in the college football playoff. They're trying to get national championship number 3 out of 4 years. Standing in their way is Notre Dame, a Notre Dame team who opened up the college football playoff with a game against Indiana, a little Cinderella team for this year, best team they ever had in school history. But it went kind of like what we all thought it was going to. It went how we thought it was going to go. Is that how you say that? Anyway, they ended up jumping out to a 27-3 lead. Indiana did come back, make it look more respectable. But what is the topic of this game? The topic of this game is that Carson Beck is not starting. Gunnar Stockton, out of Rabun County High School there in that Clayton, Georgia area, he is going to be the starting quarterback. And this guy, he was highly recruited coming out of high school. And he had to take over in the Georgia-Texas game, the SEC championship, and he held on and they won. They won the SEC championship, and now he's playing against Notre Dame. Now, a lot of people are leaning towards Notre Dame to winning this game. Vegas, 1 point is still 1 point. If you win by 1 point, guess what? You won the game. But the question is, what is everybody seeing that I'm not seeing? Well, let me tell you what I think about Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 12-1 for a reason. They did what they did during the season. They got past the week 2 loss to Northern Illinois. They learned from it. They moved forward. Georgia, they had their problems, as I said, sprinkled throughout the season, but they did what they did. They got to this point. The problem is there's something about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish that there's a lack of oomph or aggressiveness or control that they have when they play really good football teams. And I'm seeing it. There was even something in that Indiana game. And I know you're like, well, Brian, you just said they jumped out to a 27-3 lead. How commanding do you need them to be? I get it. But if you go back and you watch that game, it seemed like Notre Dame's timing was kind of off. Well, Brian, it was freezing. Well, they live there, folks, okay? I mean, it's not like it's shocking to them like it was like, I mean, Indiana lives in that weather as well. But there's something about Notre Dame that I'm just not seeing the championship level type of football. Now, you could argue that Georgia had their moments where they didn't seem like they had their championship moments in football, and you can easily, and rightfully so, argue that Gunnar Stockton has never been in this position, and that Riley Leonard, a 6'4", 220-pound monster athlete, is going to have an incredible day. But that's the thing. Georgia knows about Riley Leonard. They know his ability to run the football. They know his ability to throw the football. They know that he'll hand the ball off to a very physical Jeremiah Love. But here's the thing. Jeremiah Love had a really big run against Indiana, but Indiana shut him down after that. I just think that Georgia, as much as it sickens me to say, I think that Georgia being in this scenario, a scenario that they've been in a lot, and Marcus Freeman's never been in this position. He's a young coach. He's about 38 years old. You have the 49, 50-year-old Kirby Smart, who's been there and done that with Alabama and now with Georgia as the head man. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park for the Georgia Bulldogs whatsoever. And if they go in there and they're a little overconfident, yeah, Notre Dame can get them. I'm pulling for Notre Dame, but Georgia's going to win this football game. I don't know what the final's going to be, but I see Georgia somehow being out physical and having that one extra play that gets them over the hump, because there's still something about Notre Dame that I am seeing when I watch them. I see the good stuff, but I also see this lack of, I can't even put my words on it. And I think that lack of whatever I can't even verbalize will be the difference in the ball game. Georgia wins and moves on to the next round of the college football playoff. They'll play the winner of the Penn State-Boise State game. We'll see how that goes. Y'all take care of yourself. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing. I am an independent. Represent my Tigers. Go Tigers.